another mech game that doesn't actually have a mech in it this time.
No mechs yet.
Yes,
but it is a prologue.
Indeed, or a demo as people are calling it. Let's talk about Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes.
See, I'm very much in it. I was to begin with in the camp of this just seems like a very overpriced demo.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a new thing to pay for a demo. I mean, like, remember Case Zero for Dead Rising 2? Which was a lot cheaper, but a lot smaller in content and stuff.
See, that's when I found out there was like a lot of missions after it and a lot of replayability. And I thought, well, maybe you're getting more bang for your buck, but I don't know if it would appeal to the masses in that sense.
No, I mean, it definitely is a niche thing. It feels to me more like a NES game in a way, if you know what I mean. Like you can complete them in like an hour at most, but there's always replayability factor. Like there's always something to find, new secrets, new toys, and
I mean, the Metal Gear series is well known for its Easter eggs and its little extras that it hides in there.
Yeah, but this one's jam packed. It's probably about, I don't know, it's somewhere in the region of about 60% more Easter eggs than any other game, I think. And it's such a small game.
Considering the size of the game and the size of the map compared to other Metal Gear games, it's like that is packing that full of a lot of juice, so to speak.
The first thing I'd like to kind of address about this is that it is an open world game, which is very different for how Metal Gear works. But for me, it's also very different for how open world games work.
In what sense?
The thing is, I'm not a fan of open world games, and I've probably mentioned this a lot before, right?
You've made this very
because, in my opinion, in something like GTA, all you do is you have a giant big sandbox to do nothing in, right? And what happens is when you get to a mission, the game becomes linear, right? Yes. You find that mission because your hub world basically takes you to there, and what you do from that point on is go straight forward, kill a person, do something like that. In Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, the mission is open world. So when you come into that base, you're still on this one mission.
Yep.
You can tackle that from any angle you see fit. And that's what I feel a lot in Grand Theft Auto games. I don't think I ever really discover anything or feel like it's rewarding me for looking around the city. I feel like I'm just like, why can't I just push a button that says next mission?
Aye.
And that's what really bothers me about them. Whereas in this game, I feel that the open world aspects are there for you to play with. Like, you can now just say, like, I want to go in here and I can do this mission by blowing the fuck up everything if I want to, and I'm still going to be able to succeed, is the whole point. Or I could just actually stealth and make the game last, like, 2 hours if I want to.
Aye.
And, like, completely go in unseen, 100%.
I think Far Cry kind of started to try and go down that route where
Definitely.
It was like, you need to take over these bases, you need to do this, or you need to kill this Panther, but do whatever way you want.
Exactly. This game is, I'd say, taking a lot of influence from Far Cry, especially the spotting system.
Yep.
Where, like, you know, you have to concentrate on an enemy and then you get, like, an identifier above them.
Marker.
And, like, a lot of people were saying at first that this would make it, like, too easy or would just, like, remove all the stealth from the game, but the game
I don't think it
still
does.
rock hard.
Same with Far Cry as well. I mean, with both games, even having that little marker does not make the game any easy. You know where they are.
Yeah.
Sure, that is great. You know where the enemies are, but that's as far as it goes.
See, this is the thing that I bring up the point of. It's the first stealth game since Metal Gear 1 that actually feels like a game. If you know what I mean. It's because in Metal Gear 1, the Soliton radar made you feel like you were an expert stealth master because you knew where they were, you knew what their line of sight was, and in reality, Snake would know this. Right? He is a stealth master. You are not. So when it comes to these things, like actually having that little bit of extra game logic in it makes it feel more fun.
It makes it feel like you actually know what you're doing.
You feel like the stealth master because you can hear that guy's movements through the wall and stuff like that. It's a game and it should be like this.
I mean, what do you think of the graphics now?
Well, it's something else. I mean, like it's probably it's strange. It's probably one of the most photorealistic games I've ever played. I mean, that's not to say like the graphics are like, you know, like massively like high pixels and everything is perfect, but the things they do to manipulate you to feel that it's like actually happening is good. I
mean, I played on a 360 and obviously played on PS3.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were like comparing screenshots between Xbox One and PS4, so, you know, and you can see a difference here. Now, what really annoys me about that in general in this generation is pixel counting. It really pisses me off because the game nails what it needs to nail.
Exactly. I mean,
and even playing it in, well, I suppose old generation consoles now, it still looks gorgeous.
Yep, the lighting system in it is the best I've seen in any game before, because it's the only game I've actually played that seems to do daylight correctly. Everywhere else makes it look like there's a big glowing torch in the sky, shining things and casting shadows everywhere. No, this has volumetric daylight that looks like real life, where everything is like pretty much 100% lit.
It does fill me with confidence for the main show, so to speak, with Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain is going to be something else.
The only thing that I'm worried about is because I never finished Snake Eater and never played Peace Walker, that the story for this will lose me. Because if there's one thing that the Metal Gear Solid series does, is make their stories very complicated in a good sense. But if you miss part of that story, I mean, you're like, what's going on? And even reading it on Wikipedia to try and catch up, when you read a Metal Gear story,
it's a few pages long.
Like, sorry, wait, what?
Who's a double agent for what now?
And that's when you realise that the Metal Gear stories need to be digested slowly, bit by bit, so that you're in that world and you're understanding what's going on. Because when you just try to read a paragraph of a whole game as big as Metal Gear, you're like, no, this is too fast. My brain can't handle this much.
I'm in front of the prison camp.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Do you think that someone could come into Phantom Pain without? Because this is my worry. Cause I want it to be successful, but my worry is that it's not going to sell as well as it could or should because people won't know the story.
Right. See, the thing is that is really different about this game is it's completely story free. Like, you know, compared to like the previous games, even like Peace Walker and stuff, that was really dense on the plot. So when you come into this one, there's no exposition. No one like blabs on for hours at you about what you're supposed to be doing. It's obviously like a big change of pace, but for people coming in and don't know the previous story, it's going to be like really, really damn hard for them. But no, in essence, all you really need to know to play this game is what happened in the previous game, Peace Walker, which is a bit of a problem since nobody bought it and nobody played it apart from me.
It's the least played Metal Gear of them all. But no, I mean, for me, graphically, it's really impressive, and it just strikes a note of how good Phantom Pain is going to look and feel.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it a lot more than what it was before, and I just can't wait to kind of like play multiple missions in the same sort of way, like have that complete immersive freedom to either be a complete tool, fuck about as much as I want, throw dead bodies in cars, drive them about the map for about an hour, or just go in proper full stealth. I think that's the great thing about it, because I don't really tend to replay Metal Gear games because they're basically played for the story. But with this one, there was no story, and I've played this probably much longer than I've played Metal Gear 4, like much longer. So for me, it was a definite worth of the purchase.
I'm kind of glad that's why they kind of reduced the price slightly as well. But knowing now that there's a lot more to it, I would say it's definitely worth the money, especially for Metal Gear fans or anyone that's trying to get back into Metal Gear. Or just wants to play a really fucking good game.
Definitely, yeah.